Hey everyone, it's your family doctor. Welcome back to the channel. So let's talk about something I hear about constantly in my practice. I mean, it's probably in the top three complaints I get from my patients every single week, right up there with high blood pressure and acid reflux. Have you ever felt that tightness in your neck, like it's stiff, almost locked up, like you can't turn your head all the way to check your blind spot when you're backing out of the driveway? And when you do turn your head, you actually hear a little crackle or pop, that sound that makes you wince a little and wonder, is that normal? Should I be worried about that? And to make it worse, sometimes you feel dizzy, not the room spinning kind of dizzy, but more like a lightheaded, off balance feeling, a little nauseous, like you might be getting car sick even though you're not in a car, just off. Like something isn't right, like your body's trying to tell you something, but you're not sure what. You are not alone, not even close. I hear this from patients all the time, from the busy mom who's constantly looking down at her kids and then at her phone, from the corporate executive who's on Zoom calls for 6 hours a day with her head tilted at that awkward angle, from the retiree who spends too much time on his iPad reading the news, from the teenager who's always hunched over gaming on his phone. It crosses every age, every gender, every background. And here's the question so many of you ask me in my office, Doctor, I'm on my phone and computer just like everyone else, so why do I feel this way and my coworker doesn't? My husband does the same thing and he's fine. My neighbor is glued to her tablet and she never complains. What's wrong with me? Is there something seriously wrong? That's a great question. And let me tell you, there's no single simple answer. It's not one thing. It's usually a combination of many things. But let's really dig into that today, because understanding the why, the root cause, not just the surface symptoms, is the first and most important step to actually fixing it for good. Now, in traditional medicine, which, by the way, I always approach with respect and an open mind as long as the evidence, the logic, or the clinical experience supports it, there's this idea that a lot of this comes down to what we call liver function. Now, I want to be crystal clear about this. We're not talking about your liver as a filter, like the organ that processes alcohol or metabolizes your medications. That's a completely different thing. That's the physical anatomical liver that we can see on an ultrasound. That's not what we're talking about here. In this framework, the liver system is the one that manages your tendons, ligaments, fascia, and all the soft connective tissue around your joints, including, very importantly, the complex network of muscles and ligaments in your neck. It governs the health, flexibility, and resilience of all those tissues. It's like the manager of your body's structural integrity. Think of it this way. If you forget to water a houseplant for a week or two, and I've done this, I'm not perfect. What happens? The leaves get dry, yellow, brittle, and they start to curl at the edges, right? The stem gets weak and droopy. The whole plant loses its flexibility, its vibrancy, its life. It looks sad and unhealthy. Same exact idea with your body. When that system, the liver system, doesn't get enough nourishment, whether it's from poor diet, poor sleep, or chronic stress, your neck muscles and connective tissues get tight, stiff, and dehydrated. They lose their pliability, their resilience, their ability to stretch and move smoothly. That's why turning your head can feel like turning a rusty door hinge that hasn't been oiled in years. And that's where that crackling, grinding, popping sound often comes from. It's tight fascia and tendons moving over each other without enough lubrication, without enough of that fluid that keeps things gliding smoothly. And here's another piece of the puzzle that's absolutely critical, and I want you to really understand this. Your head, your brain, your eyes, your inner ear, all of it needs a constant, smooth, uninterrupted supply of blood, oxygen, and energy to stay clear, focused, and alert. Think about it. Your brain is only about 2% of your total body weight, but it consumes about 20% of your oxygen and blood flow. That's a massive disproportionate demand. Your brain is an energy-hungry organ. Now, that blood and oxygen have to travel up through your neck to get to your head. The neck is the only pathway. It's a very narrow, crowded passageway. You've got your spinal cord, your major arteries, your major veins, your nerves, your muscles, your ligaments, all packed into a space that's only a few inches wide. If the highway through your neck gets backed up, like a major traffic jam on the interstate during rush hour, or like a 5-car pileup that supply doesn't get through, the cars behind it can't move forward, the exit ramps get clogged, nothing moves, you end up with that foggy, dizzy, I might be sick feeling, because your brain is literally not getting what it needs to function properly. Your inner ear, which is responsible for your sense of balance and spatial orientation, is also very sensitive to blood flow and pressure changes. So that dizziness and nausea, they're not in your head. Well, okay, technically they are, but they're not imaginary. They're not all in your head in the psychological sense. They're physiological, they're real, they're a sign that something is restricting the flow of vital nourishment to your brain. Now, if you go to your doctor, your primary care doctor, or maybe an orthopedist or a neurologist, and you get an x-ray or an MRI, they might tell you that you have bone spurs, a bulging disc, some arthritis, cervical spondylosis, or nerve compression, and those are real objective measurable findings. I see them on scans all the time. I can point to them on the image. They're not made up. They're not in your imagination, but here's what I want you to understand. And this is really, really important. Those findings are often the result, the end stage effect, the downstream consequence, not the root cause. Why did that disc start to bulge in the first place? Why did those bones start to form extra growths? Why did that arthritis develop earlier than it should have? Why is that nerve being compressed? Here's what I tell my patients, and I want you to hear this. Often, it's because the tissues weren't getting enough nourishment over a long period of time, months, years, maybe even decades of chronic low-grade deprivation. Think of a river that doesn't flow well. When the current slows down and the water level drops, sediment starts to settle, silt and debris collect at the bottom over time. The riverbed itself changes shape, it narrows, it gets shallow, it meanders in unhealthy ways, and it becomes prone to flooding or drying up entirely. If you just go in and dredge out the debris and sediment without addressing why the flow slowed down in the first place, without fixing the upstream issues, the problem comes right back. It may even get worse. You're treating the effect, not the cause. You're putting a Band-Aid on a broken leg. We need to get that flow, that circulation, that nourishment, that energy moving again consistently, smoothly, and sustainably. So from an energy meridian perspective, and again, I'm translating this into concepts that have been observed, documented, tested, and refined over thousands of years, long before we had MRIs or blood tests. There are two major pathways that run right through your neck. The first one is called the urinary bladder meridian. Now, don't let the name confuse you. It's not actually about your urinary bladder. I know it's a confusing name in this framework. It's a pathway that starts near your inner eye, goes up over your head, then runs all the way down your neck along your entire spine and continues down the back of your legs all the way to your heel. It's the longest pathway in the body. Think of it as the major back highway of your body's energy and communication system. It's like the 95 of your body, a long major thoroughfare. When that pathway gets blocked or sluggish, and it's very prone to blockage because of all the tension we hold in our shoulders, neck, and upper back, you feel it as neck pain. Stiffness, headaches that start at the back of your head and radiate forward, and even lower back aches. It affects your entire posterior chain from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. The second one is called the governing vessel. This one runs right up the center of your spine through your neck and directly into your brain. In this framework, it's considered the highway of energy for your whole body, the central channel that connects everything, the superhighway. It's also considered the sea of all the yang energy, the active, warming, upward moving, vitalizing energy that keeps you awake, alert, and functional. When that one gets blocked, you feel foggy, low energy, fatigued, like your head is full of cotton and just not with it. You can't concentrate. You have trouble finding the right words. You feel heavy and sluggish, like you're moving through molasses. That's a classic sign that this central pathway is compromised. So now let's ask the obvious question, why is this so incredibly common today? Why are we seeing so many people, young people, even teenagers and children with neck pain, tension headaches, dizziness, and nausea? Why is this almost an epidemic? Let me break it down for you because I see this every single day in my practice. There are multiple factors and they all work together. First, sitting too much and sitting poorly. I can't tell you how many of my patients work at a desk all day, then come home and sit on the couch scrolling on their phone, then sit at the dinner table, then sit and watch television for 3 hours, then sit in bed reading on their tablet. We are a sitting culture. We sit more than any generation in human history. Your body was not designed for that. Not at all. We evolved to move, to walk, to run, to reach, to look around, to turn our heads, to change positions constantly. When you sit for hours, especially if you're leaning forward with your head jutting out toward a screen, which is what most of us do, your circulation slows down dramatically. The muscles in your neck and shoulders have to work constantly against gravity to hold your head up, and your head weighs about 10 to 12 pounds. That's like holding a bowling ball at arm's length for 8 hours a day. Eventually, the muscles get exhausted, they tighten up, they go into spasm. and they compress the blood vessels and nerves in your neck. It's like a garden hose that sits in the sun all day with a kink in it. Water doesn't flow through it easily. And in this framework, prolonged sitting is seen as something that directly harms your muscles, leading to stagnation of both blood and energy. Second, what we eat and drink. I see so many people reaching for iced lattes, sodas, frozen smoothies, ice water with every meal, ice cream, frozen yogurt. And I get it. They're convenient. They taste good. They're refreshing. And we live in a warm climate in many parts of the country. But here's the thing, cold stuff can really affect your digestive system. And in traditional medicine, your digestion, your stomach and spleen system is the engine that creates your energy and blood supply. It's where your fuel comes from. It's your body's power plant. Everything you eat and drink has to be processed, broken down, and turned into usable nutrients. That takes energy. If you constantly put cold things into that system, you slow down that processing engine. It's like throwing ice cubes into a car's engine. It doesn't run as efficiently. It sputters, it stalls, it can't produce full power. If you weaken that engine, you simply don't have enough fuel to send up to your head. It's like a factory where the raw materials are cut off. The downstream production line can't function. The head is the highest point in your body, and it takes a lot of energy to pump blood and nourishment all the way up there against gravity. If your energy supply is low, your head is the first place to suffer. It's the most demanding and the most distant, and too much greasy, sugary, processed food that creates what we call dampness or phlegm, like sludge in your pipes, slowing everything down and clogging the pathways. It makes your blood thicker and more sluggish, more like molasses than water. So yes, what you put in your mouth really does affect how you feel in your neck and head. It's not just about calories or weight. It's about quality, temperature, and how your body processes it. Third, stress and emotions. I'm sure you've been there. I know I have. You have a difficult conversation with your boss, or you get into an argument with your spouse, or you're stuck in traffic and running late for an important appointment, or you're worried about your kids and you literally feel your neck tighten up. You feel it in your shoulders. You feel it in your jaw. That's not your imagination. That's not psychosomatic. That's real. Measurable physiology. Stress creates muscle tension and constriction. Your sympathetic nervous system, the fight or flight system, kicks in, and your muscles brace themselves for action. They contract, they tighten, they prepare to defend you. And when that response is chronic, when you're stressed all the time, those muscles never fully relax. They stay partially contracted all day. Every day in this framework, the liver is responsible for the smooth, free flow of energy throughout your entire body. It's like the traffic control system. It's the air traffic controller. When you're stressed, angry, frustrated, anxious, or resentful, that flow gets blocked. It's like having a traffic cop who's completely overwhelmed and can't direct cars. So everything jams up at every intersection, and the neck is the most common choke point for that jam. It's the narrowest part of the highway between your body and your head. It's the bottleneck. I always tell my patients emotional health isn't just psychological. It's not all in your head. It directly impacts your physical body. Your emotions have a physical weight, a physical presence. If you hold on to anger, resentment, worry, or anxiety, your body will hold it too. In your jaw, in your shoulders, and especially in your neck, you can't separate the mind from the body. They're one system. And finally, this is a big one, and I can't overstate it. Sleep, or more accurately, lack of it, staying up late, scrolling through social media, working on your laptop. Worrying, binge watching Netflix, playing video games until 2 a.m., it all drains your reserves. It's like withdrawing money from a savings account without ever making a deposit. In traditional medicine, sleep is not optional downtime. It's not nothing. It's when your body does its most critical repair work. Specifically, it's when your blood returns to the liver to be filtered, stored, and renewed. It's when your body does its maintenance. It's like sending your car to the mechanic for an oil change and a tune-up, except it happens every night. If you don't get enough sleep, or if you stay up past the optimal time, which in this framework is around 11 p.m., that renewal process doesn't happen properly. The maintenance gets skipped. You're running on empty the next day. And when you're running on empty, your tissues don't get the repair and maintenance they need. You wake up stiff, achy, tired, and your neck is the first place to complain. It's the canary in the coal mine. In this framework, your kidneys also store your vital essence, your deep fundamental life energy, the reserves that you draw on in times of stress, illness, and aging, and that essence is a finite resource. It's like a savings account. If you keep making withdrawals every night without depositing anything back, You're going to go into debt, your body will pay the price, and the neck is often the first bill that comes due. So, what can we actually do about all of this? That's the $1 million question. That's what you really want to know. How do we fix this? The overarching goal is to get that flow moving again, especially upward to your head and brain. We need to unclog the highway, remove the obstacles, and restore smooth circulation. And there's one natural option I often discuss with my patients, and it's called Kudzu Root. If you've never heard of it, you might be surprised. It's actually a vine. You might have even seen it growing wild along the side of the road in some parts of the country, especially in the south. But the root has been used in traditional practices for a very, very long time. We're talking centuries, even millennia. Here's how I explain it to my patients when I'm sitting across from them in my exam room with my clipboard in hand. It helps lift the good fluids, the nutrients, and the energy from your belly and your digestive system up to your neck and head. Think of it as a gentle elevator or a pump. It's especially helpful for that stiff, I can't turn my head to back out of the driveway feeling, and for that heavy, foggy headed sensation. And there's a reason for that. It's known to help relax the muscles and relieve tension, specifically in the neck and shoulders. It also helps clear that urinary bladder pathway we talked about, the one that runs right up your spine and neck, the 95 of your body. It's like using a drain snake to unclog a slow drain. It clears out the debris and lets things flow again, and it supports your digestion, which, remember, is the engine that makes your energy. It helps that engine run more efficiently. So it works on multiple levels simultaneously. It's not just a one-trick pony. It's more like a multi-tool. I like to use this analogy with my patients. Think of it as hydration for your tissues. If you've ever made homemade bread, and I try to do that on weekends, you know that if the dough is too dry, it's hard to knead, it cracks, it resists you, it doesn't rise properly. You have to add water to make it soft, pliable, and elastic. That's exactly what this can do for your neck tissues and muscles. It adds that water back in so they can move smoothly, stretch, and relax again. Now, how to use it? It's really quite simple. You don't need a prescription. You don't need a special license. You can get dried kudzu root from a reputable herbal store, a natural food co-op, or online from a trusted source. Take about 1 ounce. That's approximately 30 grams in metric, but you don't need to be super precise. Just a handful. Slice it into thin pieces or break it into smaller chunks with a knife or a hammer. Put it in a medium-sized pot and add about 4 cups of water. Bring it to a rolling boil, then lower the heat to a gentle simmer and let it cook for about 20 minutes. The liquid will reduce slightly and take on a slightly starchy, mild, earthy flavor. Strain out the root pieces and drink the liquid like you would a tea throughout the day. You can drink it hot, warm, or at room temperature. If the taste is too plain for you, and I get it, it's not exactly a pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks. You can add a little honey, a touch of brown sugar, a slice of lemon, or even a cinnamon stick to make it more palatable. My recommendation is to drink 1 batch, about 4 cups worth, over the course of a day. Do this daily for about a week, and many of my patients notice that their neck feels noticeably looser, that the dizziness starts to fade, that their head feels clearer, and that they just feel better overall. It's not a miracle overnight. I never promise miracles, but it's a very consistent, gentle, and safe approach that has stood the test of time. Now, I always caution my patients about this because it's important, and I want to be very responsible here. This isn't for everyone, and I want to be very clear about that. If you're someone who always feels cold, your hands and feet are cold even in summer, you're sensitive to air conditioning, you prefer warm drinks, you feel chilly when others are comfortable, or you have loose stools, this might be too cooling for you. The root has a slightly cooling nature, and if you're already cold in your constitution, it might make you feel worse. You might get more chilled, your digestion might slow down even more, but you can balance it. You don't have to avoid it entirely. Add a few slices of fresh ginger. Ginger is warming and can offset the cooling effect. Ginger also helps digestion, or add a cinnamon stick or even a pinch of black pepper or a piece of dried tangerine peel. These small additions can completely change how your body responds to the tea. They change the overall nature of the preparation. And if you have high blood pressure, and I see a lot of patients with hypertension, it's very common, and you often feel hot, flushed, get headaches that feel like pounding or throbbing, have a red face, are easily irritable, or have a bitter taste in your mouth. This can still help, but it might not be enough on its own. In that case, the issue is more about excess upward energy, like too much pressure in the system, too much heat, and you'd want a more tailored approach. You might need to combine it with other herbs that are more cooling and calming, like chrysanthemum or mint. So I always say, know your own body. Listen to what it's telling you. Be your own observer. You are the expert on your own body. No one else knows what you feel better than you do. But here's the big picture takeaway that I really, really want you to hold on to. Don't just treat your neck, treat your whole self, your entire body, because your neck doesn't exist in isolation. It's not an island. It's not independent. It's connected to your digestion, your stress levels, your sleep quality, your muscles, your posture, your hydration, your emotions, and your energy flow. It's all connected. You can't fix one without addressing the others. Look at what we've covered today. Your neck issues connect to your liver system, your digestive system, your kidneys, your emotional state, your diet, your hydration, your daily habits, your work environment, and your sleep patterns. So if you want to solve this problem long term, not just put a band-aid on it for a few days. You can't just focus on the neck. You have to look at the whole picture. You have to address the system, not just the symptom. You have to treat the root, not just the branch. So let's talk about what you can actually do starting today, not tomorrow, not next week, starting today. These are actionable, practical, realistic steps that I give to my patients all the time. Number one, get consistent quality sleep. I cannot emphasize this enough. Sleep is the foundation of everything. Try to be in bed with the lights off by 11 p.m., not 11:30, not midnight. 11 p.m., that's when, in this framework, your body does its deep repair work. Specifically, from 11 p.m. to 3 a.m., your liver and gallbladder systems are most active for renewal, detoxification, and storage. If you miss that window, you miss the chance to recharge. The maintenance gets skipped. Sleep is not optional. It's non-negotiable. It's as important as food and water. If you're not getting at least 7 hours of quality sleep, you're undermining everything else you do for your health. You can't out-exercise a sleep deficit. You can't out-eat a sleep deficit. You have to prioritize sleep. Number two, move your body, but gently and consistently. You don't need to run a marathon or do CrossFit or join an expensive gym. In fact, if your neck is already fragile or painful, high impact exercise or heavy weightlifting might make things worse. You need gentle, sustained movement. A 20-minute walk every day, some gentle stretching, or even Tai Chi can do wonders. There's a classic exercise called looking back. It's part of a traditional practice called Bei Duan Jin, which you can find online with a quick search. It's gentle, it's specifically for your neck, and it helps release tension, improve flexibility, and restore range of motion. Do it slowly and mindfully. Don't force anything. Don't push through pain. Listen to your body. If it hurts, stop, ease into it. Number three, eat for warmth and energy. Cut back on the iced drinks, the fried foods, the heavily processed snacks, the sugary desserts, and the fast food. Add more warm cooked foods to your daily routine. Think oatmeal for breakfast, soups and stews for lunch or dinner, roasted root vegetables like sweet potatoes, carrots and parsnips, and whole grains like brown rice and quinoa. These foods are easier to digest. They support your digestive engine and they help build your energy supply. There's an old saying in this tradition, damage to your digestion is the root of many illnesses. Protect your digestion and you protect your energy, your immunity, and your overall health. Warm, cooked, nourishing foods are your best ally. Number four, actively manage your stress. I know, easier said than done, right? I hear that from every single patient. I hear it from my friends. I hear it from my own family. But even 5 minutes of deep breathing, a short walk outside in the fresh air, or a genuine conversation with a trusted friend can make a huge difference. Don't bottle things up. Don't suppress your emotions. Suppression is a major cause of that energy blockage we talked about. Find a healthy outlet, whether it's exercise, journaling, talking to someone, listening to music, or even just sitting quietly for a few minutes and focusing on your breath. Your neck will thank you. Your whole body will thank you. Number five, try some simple acupressure at home. You don't need needles, just your own fingers. There's a point called wind pool. It's located at the base of your skull, in the hollows on either side of your spine, right where your neck meets your head. It's in those two soft depressions. Press gently with your thumbs for about 3 to 5 minutes. You should feel a mild, pleasant pressure, not sharp pain. This can really ease tension, help with headaches, clear that foggy feeling, and even help with sinus congestion. And there's another point called great hammer. It's the big prominent bump at the very base of your neck, where your neck meets your shoulders right at the top of your spine. Massaging that area gently in small circles with your fingers or your thumb can boost your energy flow and is also great for overall immunity and vitality. It's like a booster shot for your system. Number six, use a warm compress. Apply a warm towel. A heating pad or a hot water bottle to your neck for about 15 to 20 minutes each day, ideally in the evening when you're winding down. Think of it as a mini spa treatment at home. Heat helps relax tense muscles, dilates blood vessels, and gets circulation moving. It's like a gentle massage without the hands. Just make sure it's not too hot. You don't want to burn yourself. Test it on your forearm first. The principle here is very simple. Cold causes things to congeal and tighten, while heat helps things flow and relax. Use that to your advantage. It's a simple, safe, effective tool. Now, let's talk about professional care. What about massage or acupuncture or chiropractic? Can they help? The answer is yes, absolutely, but with a major caveat that I cannot stress enough. Massage, yes, but only if you go to a licensed, experienced, and reputable professional. Your neck is delicate. I cannot stress this enough. It's not like your shoulder or your calf. There are vital structures in your neck, arteries, veins, nerves, your spinal cord. You don't want someone inexperienced or untrained twisting, cracking, or applying excessive force to your cervical spine. That can cause serious injury, including stroke or nerve damage. A good practitioner, whether they're a physical therapist, a chiropractor, a massage therapist, or an osteopath, will use gentle techniques like rolling, kneading, and light pressure. They won't be aggressive. They won't twist your neck violently. They'll work with your body, not against it. They'll ask you questions. They'll pay attention to your feedback. If they don't, leave acupuncture. Absolutely. If done by a trained licensed specialist. Acupuncture is one of the most well-studied traditional therapies, and there's solid peer-reviewed evidence that it can be very effective for neck pain, tension, headaches, and dizziness. A skilled acupuncturist will choose specific points based on your individual pattern. Not just the same points for everyone. For example, if you're someone who is low on energy, they might use different points than if you have excess heat or stagnation. It's personalized medicine in the truest sense of the word, but again, go to someone who is licensed and has good reviews. Don't go to someone who just took a weekend course. Your health is worth the extra effort. Now, I know many of us want a quick fix. I get it. We're busy. We have jobs, families, responsibilities, mortgages, car payments, insurance, copays. We want a pill, a shot, a 10-minute miracle that makes everything better. I see that desire in my office every single day. It's human nature. But the honest truth is that these issues, chronic neck pain, stiffness, dizziness, nausea, they don't develop overnight. They don't appear out of nowhere. They build up over months and years. They're the accumulation of all those small daily habits, all those small daily choices. And they don't go away overnight either. There's no magic pill. There's no quick shortcut. There's no bypass. Think of it like planting a vegetable garden. You don't plant seeds today and harvest fresh tomatoes tomorrow. That's not how nature works. That's not how biology works. You have to prepare the soil, plant the seeds, water them, pull out the weeds, protect them from pests, and wait patiently. Over time, with consistent care, they grow and they produce. Your body is exactly the same way. It needs time to heal. It needs consistent patient care. Be patient with it. Give it the right conditions and it will respond. The best doctor in any medical system, Western, traditional, or integrative, is the one who prevents problems before they start, not just the one who treats them after they become severe. That's what I always tell my patients. That's the smartest investment you can make in your health. It's like doing regular maintenance on your car instead of waiting for the engine to blow up. And here's a thought I want to leave you with. Your body has an incredible, almost miraculous ability to heal itself if you give it the right conditions. There's a concept called upright energy or righteous energy, your body's own resistance and healing power, your immune system, your repair mechanisms, your resilience. When that's strong, your body can fight off illness, repair damage, maintain balance, and recover from injury. How do you build it? The same way we've been talking about: consistent, quality sleep, nourishing, warming food, gentle daily movement, stress management, positive emotions, meaningful connections. These aren't just good ideas. They're the foundation of your health. They're the pillars. Now, how do you know if you're balanced or out of balance? Let me give you some simple, practical ways to check in with yourself. You can do this in the mirror in 30 seconds. Look at your complexion. If you have good energy and blood flow, your face should have a healthy, rosy glow. It should look alive and vibrant. If it's pale, sallow, dull, or gray, that's a sign that your nourishment isn't getting to your skin. Your skin is the largest organ and it reflects what's happening inside. Look at your eyes. In this framework, the liver opens into the eyes. If your liver system is well nourished and functioning well, your eyes should be bright, clear, and moist. They should look alert. If they're dry, red, bloodshot, itchy, or blurry, that's a clue that something is off. Look at your hair. In this framework, your hair is considered an excess or overflow of your blood supply. Healthy, thick, shiny, lustrous hair suggests good blood quality and adequate nourishment. Thin, brittle, dry, dull, or prematurely graying hair suggests your blood supply needs support. You're not getting enough of what you need. Look at your palms. Your hands should be warm and have a healthy pink color. Cold, pale hands, especially if they don't warm up easily even in a warm room, suggests that your circulation and energy aren't reaching your extremities. Your body is prioritizing your core and your brain over your hands. Look at your tongue. This is actually a very standard diagnostic tool in many traditional systems, and it's one of the most reliable. A healthy tongue should be pink with a thin white coating. If your tongue is very pale, that suggests blood deficiency. If it's very red, that suggests heat. If it has a thick, greasy yellow coating, that suggests dampness or phlegm. If you see dark spots, purple patches, or a purple color, that suggests stagnation. You can check this yourself with a mirror and good lighting. You can check these things yourself. It takes 30 seconds. It's a simple self-assessment tool. It's like checking your dashboard lights. If you see signs of imbalance, you have some work to do. And for those who want to support their energy and blood further beyond the kudzu root, there are other gentle food-based options, things like longanberries, which are sweet and nourishing, red dates, jujubes, which are packed with nutrients and are very warming, goji berries, which are rich in antioxidants and good for your eyes, and herbs like astragalus and dongquai, which are commonly used in soups and teas to support vitality and circulation. These are gentle, everyday food as medicine approaches. They're not drugs, they're foods, they're things you can add to your diet. And over time, with consistent use, they can make a real noticeable difference. You can make simple teas, add them to soups, or even cook them into rice porridge or congee. So to wrap all of this up in a way that's clear and actionable, if you're dealing with chronic neck stiffness, dizziness, nausea, or that vague, foggy, off feeling that you can't quite put your finger on, this isn't just about your neck. It's about your whole body's ability to nourish and move energy upward to your brain. Drinking that kudzu root tea is a simple, traditional, and effective tool, but it's not a magic bullet. It's one piece of a much larger puzzle. It's one tool in your toolkit. You have to pair it with the lifestyle changes we've discussed today. You have to address your sleep, your posture, your diet, your stress, your hydration, and your movement. If you do all of those things, not perfectly, because nobody is perfect, but consistently with intention, you will see lasting, meaningful change. Your body will reward you. It will thank you. And I want to say this because I think it's really important and often overlooked. Traditional medicine isn't superstition. It's not outdated folklore. It's not some mystical, unscientific thing that belongs in the past. It's a body of knowledge that has been carefully observed, documented, tested, and refined over thousands of years, long before modern Western medicine even existed. It offers deep, practical, clinically valuable insights that are often remarkably accurate and helpful. Western medicine is absolutely fantastic for acute issues, infections, traumatic injuries, emergency surgeries, heart attacks, strokes, life-threatening conditions. We do that incredibly well, but for chronic lifestyle-related problems, the kind that develop slowly over decades, the kind that are rooted in daily habits, a more holistic, integrative approach can be incredibly valuable, and the two systems can work beautifully alongside each other. It's not one or the other. It's both working together for your benefit. The key, though, is individualization. This is what I tell every single one of my patients. The same problem in two different people can and should be treated differently based on their unique constitution, their unique patterns, their unique circumstances, their unique genetics, and their unique lifestyle. That's the art of medicine, whether it's Western or traditional. It's not one size fits all. It's personalized, it's tailored, it's custom. And while you don't need to become a medical expert yourself, you absolutely can and should start to learn the basics of self-care. You can learn to listen to your body. You can learn to notice the early warning signs. You can learn what works for you and what doesn't. You can keep a simple journal. You can pay attention. That's the smartest, most powerful move you can make for your long-term health. So I hope you're ready to start, not tomorrow, not next week, today, right now. Start with one small change. Maybe it's going to bed 30 minutes earlier. Maybe it's swapping your afternoon ice drink for a warm tea. Maybe it's taking a 5-minute walk during your lunch break. Maybe it's doing 3 minutes of deep breathing before you check your email in the morning. Small changes done consistently create big results over time. That's how real, lasting change happens. Not in a single dramatic moment, but in hundreds of small, consistent choices. Don't wait until the pain is unbearable. Don't wait until you can't turn your head. Don't wait until the dizziness makes you fall. Don't wait until it affects your work, your family, your quality of life. Start now because your health is your most valuable asset more than your job. More than your money, more than your house, more than anything else. Without it, nothing else really matters. You can't enjoy any of it. Take care of yourself. Be kind to your body. It's the only one you get. I'll see you in the next one. If you're dealing with any health concerns, please schedule a visit with your primary care doctor. I'm here to help you understand the science, not replace professional medical advice.